Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and it's that time of the week again. I'm surprised I've uploaded as much as I have as well. This is surprising. Anyway, we're back with some more UFC picks. If you don't know, it is UFC 297 at the weekend, which is basically just saying Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis. So, we're going to run through the card. There's a few fights that are off, which made me really sad. The fact that Jan Blachowicz isn't fighting, that's really sad. So yeah, we're going to run through the card and pick some fights. Alright guys, so the first fight on the prelim, and this is the early prelims as well, is Malcolm Gordon versus Jimmy Flick. I've chosen to go with Malcolm Gordon by TKO. I think it's going to be kind of reminiscent of Jimmy Flick's past two fights where he's lost both of them by ground and pound TKO. He's just going to kind of, I think Gordon's going to put too much on him, he's going to shell up, and Gordon's going to get it, by ground and pound TKO when the ref steps in. So yeah, Malcolm Gordon for the first one. Next on the card is Priscilla Caceres, versus fucking Christ, Jasmine Jasudavicius. Aye. That being said, I went with Priscilla Caceres by UD and by pressure and absorbing damage, seeing as she's called Zombie Girl. So I'm going with Priscilla. And the next fight we have here is Johan Lenise versus Sam Patterson. Whatever these fucking names, Canada. Fuck me, man. I'm put Johan Lenise by KO, as Sam Patterson's quite susceptible to that. Leaves his chin high in the air and he's going to get caught right in the mouth. So I'm going to say Johan Lenise, aye, by KO. Fuck knows how to say these fuckers' names. But aye, Johan by KO. Alright guys, the next fight is Gillian Robertson versus Polyana Viana. For myself personally, Gillian Robertson, apart from her last fight, which was a loss, and then the last fight was a loss. And both of these females have lost to Tabitha Ritchie as well. So it's kind of like you lose to her, you fight the person she last fought. Some shit going on. Anyway, I'd need to say I'm going to give it to Gillian Robertson myself. She's been a bit more active, and especially not just within the UFC, she's been more active doing like grappling matches and stuff. So I'd say Gillian Robertson, and I'm going to say by second round submission, because she's got quite a few subs and she likes a finish. So I'll go with Gillian, second round sub. So I've just found out about this fight. It's against Sergey Side versus Ramon Tavares. I'm going with Side or Sydney, or however you say his fucking name, mainly because the last guy Side fought was Ramon Tavares and he knocked him out. Ergo, I'm picking Side. And the next fight on the preliminary card is Charles Air Jourdain versus Sean Woodson. Now, I wasn't entirely sure who to pick. Again, you find on sometimes you're just like, I don't fucking know, especially if you're a wee bit unfamiliar. I'm familiar with Charles Jourdain, not too familiar with Sean Woodson. But just having a look, I was tossing back and forth, but I have to guess I'll take Sean Woodson. I've done some research and a wee bit, but it just seems like Woodson's the one, to be honest. Alright guys, the next fight is Brad Katona, and he will take on Garrett Armfield. Now, both guys coming off a win. If you don't know who Brad Katona is, he fought Cody Gibson on the Ultimate Fighter finale, which was a fucking great fight, by the way. Seriously, that fight was class. And Garrett Armfield came into the UFC to rematch from the amateur David Onama. He lost that fight by submission, but had a decent showing of himself, and then he went on to get a knockout win then thereafter in the UFC. So I was slightly hesitant to just go straight for Brad Katona, even though Brad Katona is very durable, got a great gas tank because he went 3 rounds solid with Cody Gibson, and he's very quick. I've not seen too much of Garrett Armfield, unfortunately. I didn't see his last fight, but I have to pick Katona, mainly because, you know, I think he's on something like overall a 7-fight win streak as well. But Armfield's hard then. I think this will be a sleeper fight. This will be one of the fight maybe people won't look out for, should I say. So, but in that case, I'm still picking Brad Katona, and I'm picking him by unanimous decision. Alright guys, so we move on to the main card, and to start us off, it's Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev. I've taken Movsar Evloev by unanimous decision. He's 17-0 at the moment. Mind you, Arnold Allen, he's 19-2, something like that. So it's not as if these guys are particularly known for losing. As you may or not know, Arnold Allen fought Max Holloway in his last fight. It's Max Holloway, innit? And he lost by decision. He never got finished, which is always a bonus considering what happened to Zombie when he fought Max Holloway. I'm leaning toward the Russian. I think Movsar Evloev has great pressure in that Russian style of just continued pressure as well. Arnold Allen has really good takedown defense, but I feel like I don't know how it matches up well against the Russians wrestling, because the Russians just seem to take down fucking everybody and just keep on going. So I've got Movsar Evloev by unanimous decision. Alright guys, the next fight we have on the main card is Chris Curtis, and he is taking on Marc-Andre Barriault. For me, I need to take Chris Curtis by TKO. I think Chris Curtis has better stand-up than Marc Barriault, and then whatever you say his fucking name, Big Mark. Chris has got better stand-up than Marc, and I want to say if it goes to the ground, Chris will be able to get back up to the feet a bit easier. So yeah, I'd need to put money on Chris Curtis, but I don't think it'll be a clean KO. I think it'll be a TKO by ground and pound, and the ref will need to stop it. Because, in case you don't know as well, Chris Curtis has very good body work. He's very good at ripping to the body, so I'll take Chris Curtis. And plus, Chris Curtis is a veteran of a lot of fights. He's got a fucking mad record. It's like 30-10 or something. Like, it's something sinister. So, on that basis, I'll go Chris Curtis by TKO. Second round. Alright guys, the next fight we have is Neil Magny, and he's taking on Mike Malott, or Malo, something like that. I don't know how to say his fucking name, sorry. And then this is a bit of an outsider pick. I don't see a lot of people picking this guy, but I'm taking Neil Magny by unanimous decision. I think this fight's going to have a lot of grappling. I think that's what Malott and Magny are known for. So, I mean, I could stalemate it and have it a stand-up fight, but I think there's going to be a lot of clinch work, a lot of ground scrambles, and I think with Neil Magny being an 11-year veteran of the UFC, he'll get the win by unanimous decision. Alright guys, we are at the co-main event, and it's Maya Bueno Silva, and she'll be taking on Raquel Pennington. Now, to be honest, I don't know. I know Raquel Pennington. I'm not too familiar with Mrs. Silva, but I'd need to put my money on Mrs. Silva. And like, if I was picking a decision, I'd hazard a guess it'd go to Raquel Pennington, because that's females MMA in a nutshell. 80% decisions, the rest are subs and fucking TKOs. But I want to say Maya Bueno Silva is going to win by submission. I think she'll grind out Raquel Pennington until she gives up her back for a rear naked choke. I don't know what round, but I'm going to say Mrs. Silva by submission. That submission being rear naked choke. Alright guys, and we come to the main event of the evening. Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis. Now, this is like, I'd be surprised if there was an all-out favourite for this fight due to the sheer fact that this fight is quite fucking difficult to pick. We all seen Dricus and how he just manhandled fucking Robert Whittaker, and Robert Whittaker has been in there with some fucking freaks like Yoel Romero. You know what I mean? Like, he's been in there with some scary motherfuckers. And I think this fight might depend on how well Sean Strickland can stop a takedown. No, I'm not dissing Dricus du Plessis' stand-up, not at all. His stand-up is frightening. However, I feel that Dricus will try and take this to the ground at some point, because, you know, obviously he's a very big middleweight and he does use a lot of wrestling. However, I'd need to say Sean Strickland, with his takedown defence, with his pressure and movement, and he won't stop throwing all night unless you knock him out. I'd need to give it to Sean Strickland by unanimous decision. You guys tell me your thoughts, tell me if I'm talking shite, tell me if I'm right, wrong, or in between. And yeah, I hope you all have a good day now.